So, my channel is about motivation, inspiration, and empowering people to elevate their lives, right? Well, one of the things I've come to understand is in order for anyone to change, they have to change the inside of them, and then your outer world changes. And one of the things that can do that is truth. Truth can heal and change an entire planet. That means it starts with us. That means we have to take in some truth. So that takes me to the title of my video. God's blueprint never changed until man changed it. Human changed it. All right, stick around and let's hear what I have to say about this. Don't go nowhere. Okay, so normally I don't go into religion or politics in a, even when I'm talking with a group of people or in public because it's very sensitive. People are very sensitive when it comes to those two areas because I normally wouldn't talk about it. But lately I've been doing some thinking. Okay, actually, ever since I was a little girl, I've been doing some thinking about religion and um, how, for me, I've always had a different perspective on what we call religion. And as I got older, I figured out that I'm more spiritual than I am religion. Okay. Now, um, if you consider yourself to be religion, you're following, a set of rules to get you to said place spiritually. Well, for me, my spirituality comes when I'm in nature. As a little girl, I love to watch the honeybees or the bees go from flower to flower. I used to love to watch the butterflies. And for me, that was the closest to the creator I got. And I love that feeling. I love being out in nature. So for me, spirituality is a one on one connection with creator, with source, with the universe. Okay. And so that's what I like to be. I like to have that one on one. I like to be able to immerse myself um, uh, with what the creator designed, you know, nature itself. And so I used to look at life a little differently than most people in my family. And I never talked about it much. Maybe a couple of people who knew it the most were my mother, my family, basically, my immediate family. They knew that I had a different view about things, when it came to religion and spirituality. But, when you're young, you're made to go to church, and so your parents feel they're doing the right thing for you. And so I have no problem with that, But I will say, as I got older, they were like, hey, you're 18, whatever you feel is best for you. So I really do appreciate that mindset. That there wasn't dogmatic about it, They allowed us to be ourselves when it came to that. So kudos to them. I appreciate that. Now, one of the things that made me come up with this title, okay, um, God's blueprint never changed until man changed it. And I got to looking at things really deeply. And it took me to Earth, Mother Earth. Now, Earth is what? 4.5 billion years old? Hmm. Water is 4.5 billion years old, which makes sense because Earth is what, 70, 80% water. So it makes sense. The water on Earth, rather, is 4.5 billion years old. Water itself, it's much older. There are planets and moons that um, in our solar system that have contain a lot of water. And those planets are much older than Earth. So water itself is much older. Okay, and when I thought about that, and this, my mind was jumping around a little bit because I was trying to bring my thoughts together. Okay. So when I thought about earth, it made me think about the times of me being in church. Okay. And I will always hear the preacher say, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I'm thinking, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, no problem, you know. Um, then I got to thinking about my working class neighborhood, right? I got to thinking about when I look into my neighborhood as a little girl, I would see mama, daddy, and the children play. Okay. And then when you look out in nature, you will see the birds flying in the air. You will see female, you will see male, you will see offspring. When you look into your rivers and your lakes and your oceans, you will see the species of female, the different species, and you will see female, male, and offspring. Okay. And then when you look into the wild, you will see your tigers, your lions, your bears. Oh my. You will see female, male offsprings. And then you look back at Earth and you say, Earth is rather old. That means what after Earth was formed, you have your atmosphere, your biosphere was formed, and all of these are billions of years old. And then you have your organisms, and then your complex organisms, and so forth and so on. And all of these are much, much older than the human. So nature was here before we were here. Nature is much older. And that blueprint never changed. God's blueprint never changed. And then as I got older, I looked and I said, so the human being, the four basic blueprint of the DNA, the four nucleic acids, consist of the same elements that exist in nature. Nature is older. They've even found the four nucleic acids in space on meteorites. All of these are much older than the human. God's blueprint never changed. The Creator's blueprint never changed until man changed it. So now you have to go and look at the Bible, and you look at who transcribed the Bible from its original text to what we have today, to many different languages. And not just the Bible, many different religions have very similar text, okay, because it had to be translated, right? And these texts are very, very old. And then I got to thinking, who are the people who transcribed these texts? What did they have good hearts? Did they believe in Creator? Did they actually follow the translation? Or maybe they misread the translations. I don't know. But I do know God's blueprint never changed. The Creator's blueprint never changed. So that takes me back to when I was a little girl in church. Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. But nature shows female, male offspring. Why don't they mention women in the Holy Trinity? Why is it just the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? Where is mother? Even Jesus had a mother. They can't even mention woman, mother, female. And then I got to looking at a lot of the women on the planet today. And a lot of women have a lack of self-love, a lack of self-worth. We don't value ourselves. And a lot of that comes from our belief system, our own personal belief systems. And if you don't believe you have self-worth or you are valued, you have to now question your own belief systems. And so This is about empowering women, but people, period, for the truth. I think women really need to kind of look at ourselves and see that perhaps the way we think is basically because of how we were taught to believe and to think. I think it's time that we start considering things a little differently. Okay? I think we need to start considering that perhaps maybe there could have been an agenda, possibly, when translating that Bible or the ancient text. Because when I look at nature, when I look at what God's design is, to this day, it's never changed. You have to have a feminine aspect. But when it comes to a lot of the Hebraic religion, they leave women out. And women are always very low or at a um, beneath type of position. And what if that's not so? What if it was so because humans decide to change some things? And when we start to see the truth, because truth empowers you, truth can change. A nation cannot rise as high as its women. In order for this planet to get better, the women have to. But the women have to see their worth. The women have to see their value. The women have to know who they are. So now you have to deconstruct some things. In order to do that, you have to look at the beginning. Mother Earth, God's blueprint, the Creator's blueprint, never changed. We did. We changed. The truth has always been around us. The truth is there. You got to start there. Start with the science. Move your way there. We scientists cannot take the original seeds of nature and create it, the original seeds. That's Creator's design. Now they can modify it, but they can't create the original blueprint. They can't, not even with water. That's why I say start there. Start with the science. Look at that. Look at nature. Look at what's in front of you. The truth is there. And start to empower yourself with the truth. Okay? Know who you are. If the men want the women better, you have to let them find their truth, their power. You have to. Again, a nation, a planet cannot rise as high as its women. If we want things better, the women have to elevate. It's just that simple. That's how I see it. Okay. So that's what made me go there. I got to looking at everything and kind of thinking about life and where things were. Looking at empowering, motivation, and inspiration. Okay. So I know I'm going to have some comments. I know some people are going to be spitting fire when they see this. I get it. No problem. You can email me. I'll put the email here on the screen, and we can discuss it. I'll make a video if you want to add something different, or if you want to add to, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. I'm open. Just don't be disrespectful. Sometimes I can meet fire or fire, so be respectful. But I'm open. I'm open to hearing what you have to say. Okay. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening. You guys have yourself a nice day. Thank you.